to call my own. Oh, nope, I can't reach that note. Hello, and good evening, or good morning, whenever you're listening to this. Welcome to episode 9 of the Hit the Ball podcast. Now, this week's podcast is going to be a little bit different from previous weeks, and that is because, as you'll probably have noticed from the first, 30 seconds of this show, I haven't been interrupted by anyone. No one's chirped in. No one's said anything. No one's made a little laugh next to me, a little sarcastic comment. Nothing. And that is because I don't have my normal co-host with me. In fact, I don't have any co-host with me, apart from a rabbit, and the rabbit can't talk. Yes, Aimee is working this week, and it's just not been possible, really, to do a podcast together. It's been hard enough just seeing the kids this week. Never mind do a podcast with Aimee. So it's just one of these weeks where it's just going to happen from time to time. Shifts aren't going to quite work together, and I'm going to have to end up doing a show by myself. So this is the first one that I'm doing myself, and I think it's quite fitting because it's episode 9, which is my lucky number. I say it's a lucky number. I don't know if it's lucky because it hasn't brought me luck per se. I was born on the 9th. My favourite footballer was Ali McCoist. He wore the number 9. And I think that's pretty much the only reasons why I like the number 9. So, but hopefully this will be a good show, and then that'll give me another reason to like the number 9. So if this episode ends up being like the most listened to, first of all, Aimee will be fuming. So please share this one especially and get people to listen to it, although I don't really know what this is going to be just yet. But also, it'll just be really funny. It'll be a really nice thing for it to be, the most listened to episode. I don't know. So yeah, I don't really know what this is going to be. It's not going to be as long as previous episodes, mostly because I don't have anyone to chat to apart from myself. I'm sitting in my living room right now, looking at the thankfully de-Halloweenified living room. We did Halloween with the kids a couple of days ago, obviously on Halloween, as you do. Most people do that, but I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few moments. But I just wanted to start off the show by saying thank you so much for, first of all, downloading this podcast and listening to it, but to the 500 people, or now well over 500, I think we're like 530 now as of Thursday night, over 500 people who have downloaded the podcast. It means so much that you don't actually know, and I know that sounds like a wee sort of throwaway line, it means so much to us, but it genuinely does. I mean, me and Aimee started this podcast, I kind of started the podcast, Aimee just sort of went along with it. I think she maybe thought that I wasn't going to take this that seriously, and by like episode 3 I'd be bored of it and I'd forget about it, but nope, I haven't forgotten about it. So it genuinely means so much to us that everyone is downloading it. We're getting so many nice messages as well. I mean, obviously we're not breaking like download records or anything. We're not getting like hundreds and hundreds of viewers every week, which I wasn't expecting to. I wasn't expecting to get silly numbers, but the fact that we've had 500 people, and we've only started in September, it's very, very nice. So thank you very much for that. But we have had some really nice messages as well. Aimee said that she got a message from one of our co-workers. I'm sorry, I didn't get the name. Apologies, but thank you very much for your comments. She messaged Aimee because I think she was having a bit of a bad night with her kid or something. Maybe the kid wasn't sleeping, I can't really remember. But she messaged Aimee to say that she put on the podcast in the morning and it brightened up her day. And it's just wee comments like that genuinely make this. Sticking a microphone in front of our faces and talking shite for half an hour, it makes it all worthwhile. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm taking it because it's just me recording myself. I have to just, if I need a drink, I just have to have a drink. I can't like wait for Aimee to talk to have a drink and then continue. So you're gonna have to put up with that for the next however long this ends up being. I wanted to give a couple of shout outs as well. First of all, to Aimee's brother, my brother-in-law Charlie, who has signed up to his first ever half marathon. So that's pretty cool. Go on, Charlie. It's not the Edinburgh Marathon Festival, the one in May that I'm doing, but there's another one in Edinburgh in like February or something like that, and you sign up to that. And go, Charlie. Let us know how you're getting on with the training and everything. If you've got any tips for our listeners and how you're coping with it, how you're getting through it, well, you can just WhatsApp me. But anybody else, if you've got any tips, email hitthewallpod@gmail.com, or you can DM us on our Instagram page, which is @hitthewallpod. Also, a shout out to two people who have signed up to the Edinburgh Marathon Festival. They have signed up to the half marathon. Shout out to Cara and Michael, who listen to this podcast as well. Again, thank you for listening. And wow, the fact that, I don't want to say that was me hitting my chest there. Just think, oh, that was loud. This microphone's very sensitive. You know what it is? It's this new mixer, I think. I've just knocked something and it's made it sound really bad. It made it sound really loud in my ears. I don't know how it sounds in your end, but I'm just getting used to some new equipment. What was I saying? Yes, so shout out to Cara and Michael for signing up to the half marathon in May. I will see you there. So it's just fantastic, and I like to think that I inspired you to sign up, and that's exactly what I'm going to tell people. That's kind of what I'm sort of telling people already. So you're very welcome, and the fact that I am an inspiration to you just means so much. And I know that Cara listens to this when she does when she goes her run as well, which is what this podcast was designed for. It was designed to be quite short, so that if you're going out for like half-hour runs or just wee short runs and stuff, then you can stick this in your ears. And the fact that, Cara, you're actually filling the quota of things that you have to do with this podcast, you are a star. You're doing God's work. Well done. But pick up the pace, eh? Right, so what was I going to talk about this week? Matthew Perry, man. Let's just start sad, and then hopefully we'll pick up from there. Matthew Perry, I haven't been affected by a celebrity death as much as I have been Matthew Perry. I don't think I've really been affected as such by a celebrity dying. Maybe Robin Williams about 10 years ago, because I really liked him in an awful lot of things, and I think he still had an awful lot to give. And I'm not going to steal this bit. I'm basically going to say that if you've listened to the Have a Word podcast with Adam Rowe and Dan Nightingale, fantastic comedy podcast, definitely check that out. But I was listening to one of the episodes today, and Adam Rowe, Liverpool comedian, summed it up absolutely perfectly. Like, there's been more days in my life that I've heard Chandler's voice than I haven't. And it's so true. It's so true. I mean, maybe I haven't watched Friends as much sort of recently, but it's that thing where he's always been in my life, and the whole sort of, obviously the whole Friends show has meant so much. It's Chandler's personality in that show is 100%. Well, maybe not 100%, but mostly my personality. We have the same kind of outlook on not taking life too seriously. Whenever there's a uncomfortable situation, always find a joke. There's always a joke. There's always a laugh to be had, especially in the face of sort of sadness or awkwardness. So I do like to think that that Chandler sort of helped me become that sort of person that just doesn't take life seriously at all. And it was just so sad to read that he died. And I'm hoping that he's not went out the way that people maybe assume that he has, because he has had his problems. He has his demons with like drink and drugs, and it's been very well documented, that sort of thing. But I'm just glad that he's not in pain anymore. That's all I can really say. So Matthew Perry, rest in peace. Thanks for everything. Thanks for the laughs. And now we're hopefully going to pick things up a little bit. But I don't really know what we're going to talk about. I really do. Oh, Halloween. So, yeah, Halloween. Aimee didn't decide. Aimee's work decided that Aimee was working on Halloween. So I had to do the trick-or-treating with the kids. Now, Halloween, when you're single, when you've not got children, Halloween can be quite fun in the fact that you can get dressed up, you can go out, you can have a few drinks, and you can have a great party. There was about 10, 11 years ago or something, me and my mates went out dressed as Minions. Well, I was Gru, but the rest of my mates were all Minions, and Aimee was there, and we were all dressed as Minions. And it was the best night ever. We got absolutely hammered, and we were like celebrities, because I think it wasn't quite at the time when Despicable Me first came out, but it was the fact that there was so many of us that were dressed as Minions, and then one of us as Gru. It was like we were a gang, and the amount of people that were taking photos with us was unbelievable. But now, on Tuesday night, I dragged a couple of miserable kids around with me for trick-or-treating. I mean, Riley, the oldest one, she was alright. She was quite hyper because she had sugar at nursery, and then when she came home, and then before she went out for trick-or-treating, she had lots and lots of sugar, because you just don't mind on Halloween. But the 11-month-old, I mean, albeit she doesn't really know what Halloween's all about, but normally, and I love my children. I love them equally. They're the best things that have ever happened to me. Sorry, Aimee. And Blair, my 11-month-old, she's normally so happy, especially the last few months, she's been so happy, so giggly, so well behaved. But on Tuesday night, she was a fucking, and Aimee's going to hate me for saying this, but she's not going to listen to this probably, unless you fuckers point her out to it. She was a wee bawbag, man. Honestly. Bawbag, if you're not from Scotland, is ballbag, a little scrotum, if you like. She was just miserable. Honestly, she was so miserable. And the fact that, I mean, okay, she was maybe tired. She didn't have like a second nap that day. She's only, I think she's down to she's like a one nap baby now, which I'm very, very sad about. But the fact that I had Riley all hyped up and just running about absolutely daft, not listening to anything that I was saying, and then I had the other one screaming because she just wasn't happy that I was putting a Halloween costume on her. I wasn't sort of putting her in the car. I wasn't, she was just moaning about everything, basically. And, it was just one of those nights where I just wanted it to be over with. Now, Riley's not quite at the age yet where we go around all the houses and do trick-or-treating that way. So what we done was we went next door, because our neighbours are really good to us. They're really, really nice people. And we done trick-or-treating with them. And then I drove Riley and Blair to, our parents' houses, and we just done trick-or-treating there, which was really good. And Blair was really good in people's houses, everybody's houses. She was smiling and laughing and happy and all that. But as soon as she got in the car, and as soon as we were back in the house, it was just screaming. So it wasn't fun. It wasn't the best night of my life. But that's Halloween. That's Halloween with children. So people who don't have children just now and are looking forward to it and think that, at Halloween they're going to be so hyped, they're going to be so nice, they're going to love it. They're going to love it so much. Some of them will, and some of them will just be a miserable wee bawbag. And that is my Halloween story. Yeah. Right, that is just about 15 minutes. Again, I've said that this isn't going to be a very long podcast, because I really don't have anything to talk about, but I thought I would put something out for you anyway to listen to on a Friday. And obviously, if you're going for a run, Cara, you'll have something to listen to. So I'm sorry that this hasn't been the best show. I will, however, want to talk about the Christmas show that we're doing. I know we're skipping way ahead and everything like that, but I want to lay the groundwork early for the Christmas episode and put out some ideas for you, and you can all get in touch with us if you think this is a good idea or if you have any sort of suggestions yourself. So I want to do a video podcast show, and we'll put it up on YouTube, and obviously the audio will still be available to those who don't want to watch our ugly mugs on YouTube, or beautiful mugs. So I'm thinking of filming it in the house, and we're going to get loads of drink, and we're maybe going to have a few drinks beforehand, loosen ourselves up a little bit, and then record a video podcast in the house, and we'll have it all decked in Christmas and stuff like that. We'll probably record it quite early because it'll take a wee time to edit and stuff like that. But I was thinking we could play some party games, and one of the games I was thinking of playing is Mr. and Mrs. because Aimee and I, we played it once. We used to have, or Aimee used to have a board game of it when we first started going out, and I think it was within like the first year of us going out. We played it at our mum's house, and we had a few of like Aimee's pals in that round, and they were all sort of coupled up, and we played the Mr. and Mrs. game, and me and Aimee, and I'm pretty sure this is spot on, and I'm sure Aimee will correct me if this is not true. I'm sure we got every single question right, even like the weird ones. I distinctly remember one of the questions being, how many times a day do you say I love you, or do you say that you love each other? And it was just a case of each of us had to write down a number, and we'll see, I think it was within 5 or 10 or something, how many times you say I love you. And we both got the exact same number, which is weird, right? Especially for people who have just been going out for the first year. So we want to bring that back I want to bring that back for the Christmas show. So we want your suggestions, your questions for Mr. and Mrs. It could be anything, could be any question, but we're going to split the questions up. Aimee will have some and I'll have some. I'll answer what Aimee has, I'll answer the question. We'll work it out. Whereas one of us will answer a question, the other one has to try and guess what the answer is, and it'll all make sense on the show. So if you've got any questions for us that you want to ask regarding Mr. and Mrs., it could be something like like really boring ones, like what's her favourite colour? Don't do those ones. Do interesting ones. But like that, like what's our favourite? Blah blah blah. What's his favourite? Blah 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 blah. And we'll see how we get on that. So that's a wee idea that I had, and obviously loads of booze as well. Any other party games that you can think of that we can play on a video podcast, let us know. It'll probably be filmed. Well, I mean, I would say that we could just film it on the couch like we normally do the podcast. We normally just sit on the couch, but I don't know how it'll look, because it depends, because if we get like a Christmas tree and stuff, I'd maybe want to film it in front of the Christmas tree. So get your suggestions into us, hitthewallpod@gmail.com, or of course you can DM us on the Instagram page @hitthewallpod. Now, we're going to do something a little bit different than we normally do. And I'm going to talk about the running bit at the end of the podcast. So I'm going to do that right now. So the running wise, it's been a very good week, and I'm actually really, really chuffed with myself because I ran 25 minutes straight yesterday, and I've got now 3 weeks left of the Couch to 5k, and then I am done. So that's 9 runs to go, and then I'm done with Couch to 5k, and I can focus on the big one of getting to, the next big one, which is getting to 10k. So that will be interesting. And all the runs I've got between now and the end of the Couch to 5k, there's no intervals, so it's not like run for 5 minutes, walk for 2, run for 10, walk for 3. It's just running for 25 minutes, and then 28 minutes, then 30 minutes, then and getting some 35 minutes. So it's getting there, and I'm actually feeling it so much. I'm actually excited now, and I didn't think that this would happen, because when I'd done the training a couple of years ago, I got this feeling as well. And when I started the Couch to 5k this time, I didn't think I would ever get to the stage where mentally, I mean, listen to last week's show, I thought I'd hit a wall, and then 2 runs I've done where I've just ran straight for 25 minutes, and I feel great. It's like it genuinely, like, just does something to your mind. It's so weird. It just flips it, and you're like, I can do this. I can fucking do this, boy. So I'm nearly there with it, and I'm looking forward to starting to the couch to 10k, or the 5k to 10k, which will take us over Christmas. So that's going to be interesting. But it's November now, and I'm trying to cut back on things like, especially beer, because leading up to Christmas, I want to do like a wee advent calendar at Christmas where I'll have like a beer a day sort of thing. So I want to try and cut back on the beer this month, and then just fucking whap it in December, and then maybe do dry January again like I did last year, or this year. It's quite good. So let us know how you're getting on if you're obviously doing the Couch to 5k as well. Let us know how you're doing. If you've got any funny running stories, anything that you've came across when you're out a run. I've not kicked any more hedgehogs since the story in episode 1. You'll be glad to know, and the hedgehogs will be glad to know as well. But let us know. hitthewallpod@gmail.com, or you can DM us on the Instagram page. I think we'll just call it a day on that now. You know what? For somebody who absolutely sucks at like talking in big groups, I can really talk by myself, can't I? I can do really well. I'm really bad in like social situations. I think I've definitely got some sort of social anxiety. I think I just can't talk. I see these people who can like talk in like big crowds and things like that. I admire them, and I wish I could be like them. I like hanging about with my mates and stuff like that. I absolutely love my mates, and we've obviously, because we've all sort of got kids now, we've sort of lost touch a wee bit. But I'm really bad in like my groupie pals of just being the quiet one who just sits and just listens to all the conversation and doesn't really sort of chip in as such. Fucking when I'm on WhatsApp and they're all talking about whatever the fuck they talk about, I try and chip in with chat. And are you the sort of person that like types out WhatsApp messages thinking that you're being involved in the conversation, and then you panic and then just delete the whole conversation? That's exactly what I do with my mates on WhatsApp. So apologies if you're listening. They're usually, the stuff that I come out is usually quite good, but then I just end up deleting the message and you'll never get to see the light of day of it. So sorry about that. Don't really know why I ended the show like that, or decided to end the show on a downer, but that seems to be what's happened. So I just want to say thank you very much once again for listening. Keep downloading the podcast, keep telling your friends, your family, share it with everybody, and try and get us as many listeners as possible. We're trying to get to 1,000 before the end of the year, and we are well on our way to that already. So massive thank you again, and hopefully I'll try and tie Aimee down next week. Not like that. Keep it head out the gutter, and we will speak to you next week. Have a great weekend, or if you're listening to this, if you end up listening to this on like a Wednesday, enjoy the weekend that's about to come for you. Bet it's nice. Okay, I'm finished now.